I happy Mother's Day, everybody. We hope that y'all had a great weekend. We always want to respect everyone's time, but especially today with it being Mother's Day, and we know that you've been busy and you're probably tired. As soon as we can get off, we will. We're not going to just stay on unless we're talking. And if you have questions, of course, ask. Monica is ready. So I want to start out by saying that there are a ton of coaches in Sister Empire that are just killing it. A ton. We have so many coaches that we want to get on these calls, on these every single Sunday. We want you to be a host on this call. I'm excited to start off with Monica. And it all started, I was laying in bed one night watching stories, and I saw her stories, and she did such a great job just being so real and raw and in the camera and just being herself. She's a mom of 3. I'm going to let her tell her story, but I love the way that she was presenting this business in such just a real way. Like, no sugarcoating, she was just explaining like what she does on a daily basis and giving a shout out to her coaches. And she's really new in this business, guys. You said 6 months, right? Or 7? You're muted, Monica, if you want to unmute yourself. And I'm gonna let Monica talk. But she is a current 2-star diamond, and she's like these 2 diamonds of hers. It's not her husband or her mom. Like, these are 2 girls that she helped get diamond, which is huge. Because most of the time we make our spouse diamond, or we make our girlfriend, our sister diamond, we work her account or whatever. She's helped 2 coaches hit diamond, and she's on her way to 5-star. She's trying to lock in 5-star by the end of this month. As it's 7 months in the business, that's huge. She's doing something right. And so I love that. Go check out her social media, go do all that. But I really wanted to just pick her brain tonight in front of you all, so you can see the kinds of things she's doing to make this business so successful. So Monica, I'm going to kind of hand it over to you, and I'll ask questions as we go.
Okay. Yeah. Cause I don't know how to see, like, if people type questions, I don't see that.
Okay.
I'm on my phone too. Is that a problem?
That's okay. I'll check the chat
Okay.
And we'll kind of save the questions towards the end, so you can kind of go through what we talked about.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so let me and I'm going to try to talk fast because I know we don't have a whole lot of okay, questions are popping up. We're good. Okay. Anyway, okay, so I have 3 littles. I have a 4, 2, and my littlest will be 10 months this month. And I started staying home when we moved to the DFW area like a year and a half ago. And before that, I was working. I was in sales. So sales is like my jam. Like, I did sales competitions in college, like goober, So that was like I love it. But so much of this is not sales. Anyway, I just have so much to say. But so being home, I worked. I never, ever, ever thought I would stay home with my kids. That was not for me. Like, I met my husband, asked him if he would be a stay-at-home dad, because I'm the corporate America, climb the ladder. Like, he's going to be home with the kids kind of gal. Anyway, long story short, the Lord changed my heart, and I'm home, and I'm going to homeschool, and it's just crazy. So my husband's an entrepreneur. He started his real estate career right when we had our baby, the same exact month I started this business. So we had 0 income at all. So anybody that tells me they don't have money for a challenge pack, I'm like, I put mine on a credit card. Why can't you? But I don't say that. But anyway, so the main reason I signed up for this was to get healthy, and I needed the extra accountability of being a coach. I knew that coach can't quit. That was my mentality. And I just told my husband, like, hey, if we make a couple extra bucks, like, cool. But if not, like, I'm getting healthy. So that's why I started this. And then I would say just a couple things I'm going to get into, and then, okay, you can ask me some questions. But
were you a challenger first, or did you jump into coaching in same time?
Yeah, I jumped right in, which is why I think I'm like just now like seeing stuff pick up. Everybody kind of talks about like 6 months and how you like see things start to happen at 6 months. And I think that for me specifically, because I signed on day one as a coach and as a challenger, I had no earthly idea what that, like, I didn't know what Shakeology tasted like. I didn't have any results. I didn't have anything at all to talk about. And so I was completely clueless. Like I said, I really just wanted to get healthy because I hadn't been able to be consistent. So I do think, because I have a couple coaches who signed up here recently who just went straight, same thing that I did. And they, like me, I think it's a little bit harder versus having those like results up front, to like get out the gates as quickly as possible. And I think it's doable, but it's a lot harder. You can show other people's results, and that's the only thing I had to share day one. But when I started sharing my own results, like that's like one of the big things I have written down is when I'm working out every day and I like want to take an easy day, or I want to quit, or I don't want to work out, I'm like my transformation, like my body is my marketing. And if I crush this and the better my results are, like the more money I'm going to make, like the more people I can help and the more people that are going to sign up, because again, I can post other people and people can tell that they're real people. People have told me that. But when they see me doing it personally, when they see my results and I post those, that's when my business really took off, was when they saw my results. And I asked some of my girls too recently. I was like, I asked my coaches, like, what signed you on? And one of my girls said, your abs. Like, so it was results. Like it was completely like, so that should definitely motivate you to be doing everything you can to be a product of the product, for sure. So that's kind of like, in a nutshell, I don't even know like what else to say about me personally, but quit my job. I'm home doing this. Like I said, so I signed up day one, just wanting to get healthy, was wanting to hit the bare minimum, which my coach, Kristen, she's like, okay, in this business, you want to help 3 people a month. So I was like, okay, I need to do that. So I did that, which was really hard. Cause like I said, I had nothing to share. I had nothing to like, hey, don't know what I'm doing at all. You want to join me? So month one of my 3 people was my husband, because I also knew strategy in regards to like having him on the whole leg thing. Still don't even know what the heck that's about, or why that is, whatever. Anyway, don't even get me there. So then the second month was my husband, or my dad. I signed him up as my 3rd person too. So I was like barely making it, like begging people. And then, yeah, totally. You should see my legs right now. Yeah, I don't shave. I hate it. Anyway, I need to turn my post off. So anyway,
okay, I want to touch on the fact that, so you started brand new to both sides, challenger and coach. Now 6-7 months in to now be pushing for 5 stars. So you obviously got a hang of it really quick, and you decided to hit the ground running and to learn the business and totally take control. So I want to talk through like your mindset of, what are the things you do on a daily basis? What are non-negotiables, business stuff that has taken you from brand new to pushing for 5-star?
So number one is mindset. Like, so what I was just saying was I was hitting my 3 people a month. I finally got to the point at month like 5, I guess, that I was like, why am I just shooting for 3 when I see these other people that are shooting for more? So and just thinking strategy, like, and I finally like, and it took me kind of stalking some really successful Beachbody people. Like we all like follow those really big, people have been doing it for 6-8 years. And I'm like, well, I can do that. Like, why can't I? Like, they're just normal people. Like, why can't I do this? So like when you think big and when you legitimately believe that you can do that, then it's like, okay, what's limiting me right now? And my limitation was to hit the bare minimum, which was helping 3 people. So then I decided in April, it's like, I'm going to set this it was March. I'm going to set this crazy goal for March, and I'm going to help 10 people. And for me, going from helping 3 to helping 10 was really big for me. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, but let's just be crazy. Because I wanted a big paycheck to be able to post to then recruit coaches. So that was kind of my thing. Like I wanted a good income post. And so I was like, I'm going to recruit 10 people. That'll get me a good little bump in income I can post about. So that month I got 12. Like, I mean, I'm going from 3 to 12 just from that mindset shift. Like there was nothing else that changed in regards to inviting and all of that. I really wasn't like crazy doing that every single day. Like it was just showing up different, I feel like responding to people differently, having a sense of urgency, having this like fire underneath me of a goal that's a lot higher and a like step. And so that was March. And then once I had that income post, then it was coaches for the next month. And last month I got six new coaches. The month that I said I'm going to start recruiting coaches, very first month I ever even had a conversation about coaching. So my coaches, three of them came from my challenge group who had signed up the month prior. And I was pretty strategic about that in regards to who was showing up, who was really consistent, and not even like getting like crazy results because it had only been a month, but who did I see? Like, I don't want to and here's my thing. Like, I don't want to waste time on the wrong people. And again, and you don't always know who's going to be a rock star coach. Like, I get that. Some people will totally blow you away or come from nowhere. Yes, Kristen, I started running challenge groups, like, I think the second month, like there were 3 of us. I was one of them. It was real intimate, but that helped me like get a feel, and I continued to add. And now my coaches are in my personal one currently. And we have over 100 girls right now, which is really cool. But anyway, what was I saying?
You were talking about, you signed 6 coaches, three were from your challenge.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Yes. Okay. So what I was going to say was, I don't want to beg every single person to be a coach. If I don't see them showing up, or then I don't see them showing up as a coach. You know what I mean? Like, I want the people, and this is kind of what I've heard too from like stalking other like Beachbody people, is like, spend the time to be strategic and find people who are motivated, who are driven, who just have that personality, like, and tenacity, that they're in it for the long haul, you know. And I explained to my girls up front, this is not an overnight business. Like, this is not something like, yeah, you can make some quick cash. Like, you can have all your friends sign up, but when you hit diamond, like, you'll make some good paychecks. But I tell them up front, but look at what these people are, and not that it's all about the income, but like, it's pretty exciting. So talking about what the potential is, and I'm like, but 6 years, God, to be able to make 6 figures potentially. And I'm like, okay. And then in a corporate company, how long is that going to take you? Like, when I left my company, I was almost at 100,000. I was there for 5 years. So if I can do that from home with my babies, being able to homeschool, helping, like, not sell hard hats on a construction site, like, I'm getting people healthy and I'm getting healthy. Like, it's, and so here's another thing I wrote down. If you have a husband, if you are a husband, wife, person, get your husband on board. Like, sell him this whole, like, you have to show him success stories and getting him on board, because that's a huge game changer in this business. Like, one of my coaches just told me her husband framed her first check and put it in their study. And talk about the fire lit inside of her to like have that support. And so my husband and I've gotten to a point where, like, he's like, hey, well, maybe we need to be giving you a little bit more time. So he's a realtor. And so he makes his hours, I make my hours. And let me talk to that, because I know you had asked me how I work my day as a stay-at-home mom with kids and what that looks like. So I'm up in the 5s for sure. It depends on how early I went to sleep, on if I got up at 5 o'clock exactly. But I want my workout done for sure by 6 o'clock. I want to have done my morning, like, story posts of my workout, and drinking Energize. And I try to have like my morning Instagram, like my normal post, and then do some invites. So I'm doing all of that before my girls wake up, and they wake up at about 7. And then I'm working at nap time between 1 and 3. And then after they go to bed, I'm doing stuff. And I'm just kind of talking through some things, Kate, that you and I talked about. So I keep rambling. Is that okay?
Oh, that's okay.
Okay. Just to kind of
So
talk about like what I do in that time. What did you say?
I have a question about your social media. So I know you
Yeah.
were just mentioning like your morning stories. For any of us that go and look at Monica's social media, like it literally looks like you're like a social media guru. Like you have everything very like you're good with what you say. Like, is that something that just comes natural to you? Are you like reading a certain book to help you with social media? Like, how do you feel inspired to post? Posting is such a huge struggle for a lot of coaches. So where are you coming up with your content? Are you just a really good writer? Like, what would you say about
My husband's the writer. He wrote all my grad papers. I don't even know. So
that? Did you post on social before Beachbody, or did you
yes,
start posting?
yes.
You did.
So I started to kind of pursue influencing like in general. I have a couple friends who are pretty successful, like not bloggers, but like influencers. And so I had seen them, and my mindset was like, my passion is like dressing my tiny people. And a lot of friends encouraged me to post it. Like, they want to see that. I want to see tiny people outfits. And anyway, so then I had started to dig in a little bit and learn about that. And so a couple little, I guess, tidbits that I picked up that I think is good to know in regards to posting. Well, I only post like probably 1 out of every 4 or 5 posts on my normal Instagram feed is anything health and fitness related. I don't want people to come to my page and just see all health and fitness. They'll be turned away really quick. And you guys always talk about that. You talk about Color Wheel a lot. So I was already kind of like of that mentality, like changing it up, not having the same thing every day. In regards to like my writing style, like I do not think I'm a good writer. Like, I have no earthly idea. Like, I don't pre-plan them, which is something I say all the time I need to do. So if you can do that, like, it just takes too much time away from like right now, all I'm doing is like ferociously like making new connections. From specifically right now is like from the suggested friends, right? So like from my people, if I see, and it's the kind of people in my head that I want as a future coach. And so that is for me, I want to see somebody who has like a decent Instagram initially. Not that you can't, but I'm like, can't do it without it. But like, I want to see somebody who has like 500 followers, like minimum is kind of what I shoot for. If we have a connected friend, then they're more likely to follow me back or start watching my stuff. And then I don't know, I just think of like people, kind of like people like if they look like me or kind of like me or interested in the same things as me, then we're going to have a connection and they're going to trust me.
So you had the suggested friends. Is that how you find your new followers? Is that the
That's how
main
I
thing?
have been, because it's the quickest dang thing. Yeah. I mean, I'm like super, like just trying to be super, super efficient. Because
Can I ask, what do you do when you make connections? Like, what is your process?
Well, it's terrible right now because I don't write it down. That's like my tomorrow, literally like on my list tomorrow is, to like print out like Excel spreadsheet and start going through and writing out who I'm connecting with and then following back up. So I did find on Instagram, if you go to, I think if you go to like, if you hit on who you're following, it'll show you who you have like the least, who you've engaged with the least. And it's like the top like 50 people. And so I have started then to go to their page. I started to like comment on people's stuff. Like, we are on social media because like we post pictures and we want the love back. Like, right. Like, we want likes, we want comments. So I want people to see me doing that. And so I'm doing that a whole lot more. But that's what, I mean, in a perfect world, I'm connecting. I'm like, requesting or following, and then I'm writing them down and seeing if they followed me back, and then I'm engaging with them. I also have been saving account. This is another really good idea I thought about the other day, and I started doing, is like, you can bookmark accounts. So if it's like a really good account, I'm like, ooh, I think like she would be a good coach, she just doesn't know it yet. I would flag her, and then I can go back to all my saved or bookmarked Instagram pages or pictures, and then I'll know like who I want to be engaging with like that week. Does that make sense?
I love that. Lauren, one thing that I do, because I'm limited on time too, is if I see a good account throughout the day, I just screenshot. And then when I get to my calendar or get to my notepad or whatever, then I can go back and look through my screenshots, write down, and go from there. Just because
it's always just that awkward initiating like conversation with a stranger. Because I feel like I finally passed my warm market. So now I'm like, I am trying to reach outside of that, and I just feel so uncomfortable.
Well, and you don't even have to private message. Like, start just engaging with their stuff. Like, respond to their stories, respond to their polls, like comment on their pictures. Start engaging in that way. And you guys, it's creepy how real this. Okay, there's so many times last month where I would see someone and I would be like, oh, they need this. Like, they would want to be in my challenge group. I know they would. And I would go to their account, and Instagram and Facebook, because of the algorithm, all of your followers of every single person that you have that follow you, 10% of them see your stuff daily. The same 10% of people, okay? So the higher engagement, the more comments, the more likes that you get, then it opens up to more people. And so right now, so many people are hidden. So I'm like, I don't know who sees my stuff. Like, it's the same, 300 people that see my story every day for the most part. So I will target someone that I think is gonna, I think this person would be good. I literally will go and start commenting on their things the next few days. Literally, sister will send me a message because she saw my stuff now. She didn't know I was there. So that's where I'm focused on now is, okay, I think last month I sold everyone that is seeing my stuff, that I think would be interested. So now I need to open up that next group of people who are not, they don't even know what the heck I'm doing. They don't see my stuff every day. So that's my strategy for this month, because okay, last month I was at Success Club 56. I'm literally at Success Club 4 right now. Insane. What the heck? So,
I was going to say, yeah, that's 33 people that you helped last month, just going from your minimum of 3 to 12 to 33 people. And that's huge, Monica. But I think I'm so glad you said that, because when we post, we spend all the time, having the transformation, writing the post, we get the balls, we post it, and then we're like, oh, well, we didn't get the connection or whatever. But I love that you said that, because so many people probably didn't see it, which sucks. Yeah. But an easy fix for that is what she just said. Spend time going and interacting with the people that aren't already watching your stuff. You're already at the top of their story feed. You've got to go interact and show love to the people that you don't really see around on your Instagram. If you don't see them, I promise you they're not seeing you. Mm-hmm. So it's a really good reminder to kind of dig deep in your following. One thing that Deidre does is she just picks a different letter every single day. So she'll go to A, and then the next day B, C, D, and she goes through and just loves on all the A's one day. And then the next day she knows she's been on the A's, so she goes to the B's. That's a really good way to kind of spread out the way that you're, interacting with your following. So I'm glad we brought that up.
Yeah, that's such a good idea. I love that.
And it's just, so many people are also, even if they are watching your stuff, they need a little love from you first before maybe they feel brave enough to say hey, Monica, I actually really am struggling. I'd love to lose some weight, or I'd love to earn an income. They need to see a little bit of attention from you first. So it's so important to go out and give that attention as part of your work every single day.
For sure. Also, saying happy birthday, Facebook, you can go and see everybody's birthdays. That's another big thing, is every day, that's put that as a part of your to-do, is every person that there's a birthday for that day. That's such an easy, non-creepy thing to where, okay, you can hit in an entire year everybody's birthday, and you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, Monica, like I forgot about her, what's she up to? And they'll go to your page then, and they'll start seeing like, oh, wow, she's doing X, Y, and Z. So that's another really good one too. I think of what else I have written down.
I was looking at the questions we had talked about.
I have something.
Go for it.
Well, I want you to talk about when you talk to people. And the only reason I know this is because when my new coaches sign up, I'm like, okay, screenshot me what you think you should say back to that person. And Monica from the beginning would like bring the energy like through her words when she would talk to people. And I feel like they feel that, and it's so good. So I don't know if anybody else cares to hear that, but I feel like, you know, when you talk through a conversation with people, like the things, how passionate you are and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you voice message or do you type stuff out?
Well, I was just going to say one of the biggest game changers I feel like this last month was me going to voice memo. And to prove that this is working is a girl responded back to me to it. And she was like, oh my gosh, you have to be like, you must be a speaker or a pastor. I'm like, ooh. But she was like, the way that you're talking right now, like in your voice, she's like, I can just hear the authenticity in your voice and how passionate you are about this in your voice. And I think that that's huge. When you feel confident about what you're saying and you can like do the whole spiel, like with your eyes closed, you know, like initially you can't do that from day one. You're like, I really don't even know what I'm saying. You're, you know, trying to type it out. But if you are typing it out, I will say, type it like you talk, you know, like very much. I mean, I will be like, this is so much fun. You're going to love it. Oh my gosh. You know, like very personable, very like, it's so not like scripty. And we have all those scripts, which I go and look just for different ideas and different content, but I tweak it. Of course, I don't just copy and paste. Like I tweak it to how I'm going to talk. Like, I'm not a like boss babe person. Like you probably will never hear me say that for whatever reason. It's just not natural for me. So like, I'm not going to say that, but I'll take something that maybe says that and just make it my own. But I have that written down here. Voice memo. I can say a whole heck of a lot more in a voice memo in a tiny bit of time. And again, I'm very efficient. Like if I have a little block of time, I can't type that fast. Like I just mess it all up. And I don't want a huge paragraph versus I can tell. And so something else I started doing in relation to this is whenever I send the share cart, I always, because here's another thing, Kristen asked me this, I sign every single person up as a discount coach. I don't even like give them the option. Some people are passionate about giving them the option. I don't even give them the option. So here's what I say. I send them the share cart. And then I do a voice memo right after. And we could have texted because I do have a little copy and paste little bulleted, like, here's what you get. There's a one-time enrollment. This is what you get. And then I say, I just need your email and we'll get you plugged in tonight. Create urgency. And then, so then I do a voice memo and I say, hey, I just sent the share card. I just sent your sign up link. So check your email. But just a couple things I wanted to mention. Number one is, like I said before, I signed you up with the exact same package or enrollment that I signed up with personally, and 100% of my girls sign up with. It's the discount account, so you're going to get those shakes, and everything in the future, you're going to get them super cheap. Now, it's going to come across and say coach. That does not mean you're a coach, because how many of us, they come back and they say, oh my gosh, like you just sent me a coach. I don't want to be a coach. I don't want to do this, and they freak out. So get out in front of that. So I always now get out in front of that every time. And so I say, you're not a coach. It just is going to get you that discount. So it's just the discount account. And then I just totally brush it aside. Like, okay, now that we talked about that. And then the other thing I say is, another thing is at checkout, at enrollment, you have the opportunity to try out other products, highly discounted. So if you're interested, none of this is required, but I always recommend a couple of my favorite products. And then I say Energize. Oh my gosh, it's amazing, blah, blah, blah. Like 90% of my girls drink it. I talk about that. And then I'm not even going to tell you my spiel, but I mentioned 3 things. And this has been a huge game changer for me. I always mention 3. If you just say 1, hey, you can try Energize at checkout and get it for $29 instead of $50. Then they can say, oh, I just did checkout, or I did whatever, the challenge pack. If you say 3, I'm telling you, they always buy at least one. Like they may not buy all three, but every single person, I swear to you, last month, I signed up 30 something people. I would say concretely 28 of them at least bought Energize. Multiple bought like 2, maybe all 3. Like, okay, well, I bought all of them since, you said that, but huge game changer. Like that's huge. So when they're reordering, like that's going to be big for me this month with my 0 successful points. So that's a big one. But with voice memo, they can hear my fluctuations and they can hear me like, oh my gosh, you're going to love this so much. It's great. And I do that because people that don't know me, they think then it's like, okay, she's not this like weird, random, like fake person. Like they see that I'm like a real human, So that's kind of that.
I love that. Love that. Mentioning the discount and then saying your 3 things. That's so genius. I don't do that.
Yeah.
I want to just say, Monica, because while you were talking, I thought of this, just in case anyone else doesn't. After you get done creating the share cart, that button that says copy shareable link or copy clickable link at the very end of share cart. If you click that, it copies the exact link, and then I go and put it in message so they don't have to check their email.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's been a game changer because so many people tell me I can't find an email or whatever. So it sends the exact link. You can put it in text message, wherever y'all are talking.
Interesting.
It's the very last screen of share cart, or once you say send email, then you'll see it pop up. Okay, so I love that. I was thinking of something while you were talking. Oh, someone, Lexi Krennic, which is a really Katie Krennic, but her daughter's name's on here. It says, can you talk about how you're inviting? That was one of the questions.
Okay, so gosh, I literally have just started like inviting recently. And really that is like I have no like specific rhyme or reason, but I will say I am inviting every single day. I don't have a specific number, like 5 people, or anything like that. It's just as many people as that's like my number one. It's like Eat That Frog, if you've read that book. It's the one thing that we don't want to do, but it's the only thing that's going to move our business. And so that needs to be number one, your non-negotiable. If you don't get to, you need to do your workout, but if you don't get to anything else, if you don't post your Energize, who cares? Like you need to be inviting for sure. And that is, anyone, literally, if somebody messages me about something random, if they ask me, oh, where did you get that shirt? Or, oh, your daughter, or whatever. Oh my gosh, thank you so, so much. And I don't know if you already have a routine or if you've seen what I've been up to the last couple months, but you should totally do one of my boot camps. You'd be amazing. Like super simple. It doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be this whole long thing, but something as easy as that. And it can get the conversation going. But that's kind of, I am like struggling saying that because I'm not like, inviting has been a newer thing. Like I'm so new that it's been people coming to me. That's kind of still where I have been in my business. So hopefully that continues the more I open up, and engage with more people that aren't seeing my stuff. Sorry.
Okay. Lauren wrote, if you get a chance, and I may have missed this, how do you go about checking in on your girls once they've signed up? You mean like challengers, Lauren? Her screen is off.
Checking on the girls once they've signed up?
Yes, sorry. I meant, like once, what is your process for your new challengers? Like, do you check on them weekly, or do you have like a certain sign up process once they get started? Because I always struggle with that. Like I'm scared to be too forward with them, but I also don't want them to feel like I signed them up and then I'm like, bye, you're on your own.
No, for sure.
Like I get them ready. We have like in our group, we have our our challenger prep group that, walks them through everything. And then I tell them, once you go through all this, then let me know if you have questions. And then I try to check on them weekly, but.
So so here's what I do. So initially I was just plugging them into the group because there were so few of them and I didn't really have a process. And then I I started doing an onboarding call, which was really good because I was getting a one-on-one like conversation. It was very, it seemed like professional and more like less like you're plugged into a group and just disappear. But goodness, like it ended up being every single night for like 30 to 40 minutes. I was like having an onboarding call, and I don't have time for that. So I think I told my husband what I have to start doing is maybe a weekly onboarding call, like for my new people. Cause I do want to chat and I do want to talk goals. I want it to be something that seems really like official for them, because I don't want them to just get plugged in and then just like fizzle out in the group. But I also will say getting the girls results is also a huge game changer in your business. Like making sure that you're staying on top of them and checking in with them. I do like send messages. I try to send them like a personal message once a week just to see like, how are things going? How are you liking your workouts? How are you liking your shakes? I also started talking about Shakeology last month too, a lot, just to try to get people to stay on Shakeology. But so once they get checked in, so I try to schedule my posts, so I'm not worrying about posting anymore in the mornings. But that so I schedule that post, and then I am interacting at lunchtime. I go through and like and comment on like all this stuff, so I know my girls like what they're doing. And if I don't see them post their picture like the next morning, or sometimes I would let it go like 2 or 3 days, and then it was terrible trying to like check the box on everyone. Now, like I said, we have like 100 girls in the group. So now what I started doing is every night I post a poll at the end of the evening, like who did their workout, drank their shake, etc. And then I'm going, and if I don't see their name on there, then I am checking in with them and saying, hey, how's everything going? They'll tell me what's going on. I give them grace and say, okay, let's get after it, you know. So you do want to stay on top of them as much as you can, because that's what's going to get them results. And you promised them accountability. You sold them on the accountability. So you have to make sure that you're holding them accountable. That makes sense. Does that help? Does that answer that?
Absolutely.
Cool. What else was big?
I have a weekly onboarding call too. Like,
you do that, you said?
I love the idea for that.
Oh,
for challengers.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, not everybody watches that like the welcome video that you know, like I post a welcome video explaining the rundown of everything, and not everybody watches it, because then they'll ask me like questions that were in there, and you can tell they didn't listen to them. A big thing I will say too, I'm just looking at my notes, following up, like again, I come from sales, and so I'm not afraid of any of that. And I think the quicker you can get over the fear of no rejection, like the book Go for No. I mean, like no is okay. Like it's fine. Don't let that defeat you. Don't let that, like I said, right now I'm at successful poor. What? But I know like long term, like what my vision is, what my goal is for this business. And it like this month isn't like, it's not going to affect me in 4 years, you know, like, so getting over that mindset and that fear, but following up, I think it's something that, I mean, I don't care. Like they didn't answer me. Like people get busy. People like, especially if they have kids, like mamas, like it's on the top of our minds, because this is our job. And my goal is to get you to enroll with me. But they weren't working out yesterday, and they're fine if they don't work out tomorrow unless we change their mind. So we have to follow up with them. And I follow up with them several times. Like, hey, did you get a chance to see my message? Like, what do you say? You want to give it a shot? Like, oh my gosh, yes, Shauna, you did. So many of my girls told me like, oh, I don't know, not right now, not right. I mean, follow up. That's such a big thing. If you're not doing that, that's big. And create urgency. Like, I want to get you plugged in tonight. I have a couple girls signing up. Like, let's get you rolling for tomorrow morning, and let's get you started. And use another thing, when they initially reach out and ask for information, just like sales 101, do not ever give everybody the information ever. Always start with them. Always uncover their need. Like, okay, tell me a little bit about you first. Like, what do you struggle with? Like, is it more the nutrition side? Is it the fitness side? Or is it like me and both? And then use what they say. Like, if they say, God, like, I'm really good at, like, I eat pretty good, but like, the motivation of working out, I can't do it. Don't sit and talk about the meal plans. Talk about their need. Uncover that. Like, come up with a solution for that need and talk to that. And then at the end of the conversation, when they're like, yeah, I just don't know, pull that back out. You said you needed motivation. Like, you said that you couldn't hold yourself accountable. And you told me that you're just so groggy and you really want to lose that 5 pounds. Like, I know this is going to do that for you. Like, use what they said, spin them and close it. Like, you have to use that against them, not against them, but kind of, and say, you said this, like, these were your words. And I know this is going to work for you because it has worked for me and it's worked for so many people. Spin is like a real sales thing. I didn't mean like literally spin them and like hurt them or anything, but anyway, sorry. So I always ask them those questions and then dig a little bit deeper. Like, why do you think that you weren't able to stick with a program before? What did you try? Keep asking those questions. Always the tell me, like tell me before every single thing. Like, do that with everything and everyone, like always. And then you talking, not, does that sound good? I mean, that's kind of okay, but does that sound good? Yes. Okay, now what? So you have to get them talking. So that's just kind of sales stuff.
I love that. That's all stuff we've learned like at summits in the past. You're doing everything. Yeah, that's spot on. That's one of the first things I do too. I would love to hear more about you because they know everything about me just from following my social media, just like they should know everything about you if you're sharing it. So it's giving them the chance to talk, and they want to. They want to spill all their problems and worries and concerns. Mm-hmm. People will just kind of unload if you give them a chance to. Okay, I have one more thing to say, and I have one more question, then we're going to wrap it up or be done. I love how you said that Success Club 4 doesn't bother you. Like 4 years down the road, like this isn't, the reason you said that is because you're both feet in. And I feel like that's the best thing you can do for your business is to be all in. Success Club 4 doesn't shake you because you know you're going to figure it out. You know you're going to put in the work to make it happen. And that's something that I know has always helped me. And any successful coach that month after month shows up for their business, it's because there's not a question. It's not am I going to work this month or not? Or am I going to feel like it or not? Like, you're all in doing whatever it takes to build your business. And I think that's why you're seeing success now. Okay, the last thing I want to say is the coach that you helped hit diamond in 8 days. Are you on? Is that Shauna? Oh
my gosh.
Yes, it is. Okay, yeah. So I want to know, so you helped Shauna hit diamond in 8 days. I want to know what you told her to make that happen. That's
So, funny story, this should be her running the call because I told her, so all my new girls, I say, okay, your first number one job is to get 2 people signed up. Like, you can do that like day one, for sure by the first week is what I say. Don't even say the first month. Like, no, like the first week, you can totally do that. And then I say, like, I think we can hit diamond for sure in 30 days. Like, plenty of girls do it. Like, what they don't know. Not that I lied. People totally do. It's hard. I didn't. But anyway, I told her 30 days and her response, y'all. Ready? Well, I was going to say 7, but okay. Those are the kind of coaches you want. So then sister did it in 7. Like, you want people that set goals. Yet then I have Haley who says she's never set goals before and she's one human being away from diamond. So I don't even, anyway, Shauna, like, you just are a baller. Talk. Okay,
so Monica, thank you. So Shauna, we're on you now. So what was your mindset? What was your mindset to make this did you go text people, message people? Was it on social media? Tell us a little bit if you don't mind.
I actually, and please, I've been saying this for a week. I have terrible allergies, so my voice is like shot. But I actually joined this because I've been struggling with my 3rd baby weight. And anyways, I've done literally absolutely everything the past year under the sun as far as, dieting and working out and things like that, and just nothing was working. And so I did fitness competitions before my third child. So a lot of people in the fitness world have kind of followed my story. And sorry, I'm nervous. I hate talking to people. I love it. I do it as for a living, but this is different. Anyways, so they've been kind of following my story and you know, watched me struggle and things. And so finally, whenever I reached out to Monica, literally the 2 weeks I did it, I got more results in those 2 weeks than I have in a year and a half. And so I ended up posting a picture, and literally, I think I got like 150 comments by that one picture. So literally the next day, I just told Monica, I said, well, if I'm going to keep doing this boot camp, then why wouldn't I, you know, tell my friends and family about this? And so that's just kind of where it happened. And I love it already.
Good for you. That's so neat that you were brave enough to post the picture. So you reached out to Monica for, like, you were following her and seeing her results. So you reached out to her.
Actually, Monica reached out to me 3 times. And on the 3rd time, it was finally to a point that I literally was done with the gym because it wasn't a hobby anymore, because I wasn't seeing my results and I was depressed and everything. And well, I've known Monica since high school. So, but you could just tell by her message to me how authentic it was. And I told Monica, for the past 2 years, I've had people reach out to me from all sorts of, you know, multi-level marketing companies saying, hey, you have a really good following. I think you should do this. I think you should do this. But literally every message is copy and pasted. Monica's was so genuine and directed towards me and kind of what she has noticed throughout my journey that I literally messaged her back and I said, this is the first message I'm ever replying to that anyone has ever sent me in regards to this. And then we just started talking, and here we are.
Okay. Well, before we get off, I hope everyone can take a look at Hannah White, who is a nurse with a mask on. She's holding a baby at work. Can y'all take a look at that? Because that is freaking incredible. Watching this call, do y'all see her? Find her on the screen. She is like in the hospital working as a nurse and holding this baby. And I am like, oh my God, that is the coolest thing ever. Do y'all see that? Anyone else see her? Oh my God, that's so neat. Oh my gosh. Okay, thank y'all so much for getting on. Monica, thank you so much. And thank you, Shauna, for talking for a minute. I hope that was helpful. I hope Monica, Monica, they are loving it. If you look at the chat, go check out her social media, not to compare yourself to her because everything is like super pretty over there on that social media, but just really to get inspiration for how quickly you can turn things around for your business. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.